Blood abortion came in, and they immediately started it.
Immediately. No.
Immediately. We didn't want to give anybody an opportunity to leave.
All right, guys, it is time. Welcome to game number 1 of XLNC Shoutcasting on this Tuesday, which is the 26th of June. We're going to have an awesome time. We shoutcast 3 games every Tuesday night. Don't worry if you guys are thinking that's too few. We're making plans to do more in the future. It's just in the works, so we're working on it. But no, we have a blast. We have a lot of fun. We shoutcast games. You guys get to feel like pros. I'm working on right now a streamlined system to get crazy, awesome highlight plays up on YouTube. That's going to be coming out very soon, as well as, I'm not going to name too much because I'm probably already talking too much about it, but there's this current game mode we're going to be investing in either this fall or next spring, which is a little far away for me, called King of the Court. So keep your ears out for that one. But so far, game number 1, we got Team Acorn versus Intermediate Bots, or as I prefer to call them, Team Acorn versus Intermediate Bots. Banning out the Brand, the Darius, the Mundo, the Irelia, all the OP champs. We're not on 8.13 just yet, where Irelia receives those nerfs that she's supposed to be getting, which are extremely minor and really won't change her all that much. She'll still be broken. But in the meantime, still broken champions, taking them out. Who do you deem, besides these 4, is like really broken in the game, that just constantly sees play and is really ridiculous?
I know it sounds super dull to say this, but I always hate Yasuo. I hate the fact that he can dance around so much. However, I have found a very fun counter into Yasuo very recently that I really like playing, and that's Kale. So if you end up in a game against Yasuo, especially in top lane or mid lane, throw the Kale down and force them to rage as your ranged steroid does not get blocked because it's not a projectile.
Not a projectile. That's pretty impressive. And one of the things that you could see Kale against is a Zed who wants to be using that ultimate to jump inside somebody and pop them from a distance. And just before they get exploded, toss that Kale ultimate on. They'll be fine. She doesn't see a lot of play, but when she does, it's pretty awesome. Is this a secret strat coming out? Oh, I'm so excited for this. I'm going to try not to talk too much about it, but Phantom of Temp is playing Callista again. This is something that Phantom of Temp has played a lot recently and seems to be doing really well. We're going to wait a minute before talking about the secretness of this strategy. I'm kind of impressed I haven't even seen it in higher levels of pro play because it's so awesome, but maybe they know about it and they just decide not to play it anyway. As the Bard comes out from Team Acorn, not a very common supportive champion, still strong though. Personally, those magical journeys are my favorite.
I love the mobility that Bard offers too. It's really easy to get from lane to lane, and as a result, you don't end up with a support in the bottom lane as much. You end up with a support in top lane, in mid lane, even in the jungle for a 2-man invade. That mobility gives you so many extra tools to move around and make things happen across the map, which is always what you're looking to do as a support anyways. As we see, I am Billy picking up the Lucian, so it looks like we're going to have that Lucian Bard in the bottom lane. Looking forward to seeing how Billy does on this Lucian. First time on the stream, so looking forward to seeing exactly.
Oh, there's
the Yasuo.
The Yasuo wind wall, beautiful against the Lucian, as well as even some of those shurikens being thrown out by the Zed. Just going to be blocking a lot. So far, 3 ranged projectile champions coming out from Team Acorn. I mean, Zed is a melee champion, but a lot of his spells are AoE based. So will be very strong with that, as well as being squishy. Makes him a nice, easy target for a tornado straight into last breath. This was actually a champion I was going to talk about, the Lulu, being banned away by Team Acorn. I've seen her being picked up more and more often, especially when it comes to these fast attacking champions that like to dive into enemy lines, the Lucian, the Kaisa, even sometimes the Ezreal, throwing out a lot of spells. And Lulu is so good at passively just buffing them stronger and stronger. So she doesn't see a lot of like kill competitive play, but she is seen as a massive support champion. So no surprise in her being banned out, as well as Camille, Sejuani, and the Rise for ban series number 2. Okay, So recently with the meta being all changed and everything and having double melees in the bottom lane, Lucian's seen a lot more top play. He's currently sitting on a teleport, but that could just be ADC with teleport. Unless this is a Twitch.
If that's a Twitch, that's a top lane Lucian.
It more than likely will be, which means they don't. It is locked in. Team Acorn is about as fragile as an Acorn. Not really a front line whatsoever unless Tradox decides to build super tank on the Olaf. But wow, their early game spiking damage between the Zed and the Lucian and the Olaf. I mean, you put those three in a 3v3, they're going to decimate so early on into the game.
But look at the Wombo combo coming out from the intermediate bots. You've got the Malphite, the Kalista, as well as the Yasuo there. That's two massive knockups that Yasuo can last breath off of. And if they're fired simultaneously into separate parts of the team, that could potentially be a 5-man last breath. Lots of knockups, lots of crowd control, so I'm looking for the intermediate bots to really take advantage of what they do have on their side. It looks like they are going to be running Ignite in the top lane on Catnator's Renekton. No teleport, so it is going to be a slight mobility advantage over to Team Acorn. Definitely better for the skirmishes that they're looking to have, as like you said, they're very fragile, so any opportunity they have to pick somebody off, they're going to have to take, or they're going to find bad fights all across this map.
Right, and that's one of the things. But, well, before we get into that, let's go ahead and roll through the players and their positions as Sejaces joins in the queue. Appreciate that. We'll get you into the following game number 2, as this is only game number 1 of 3 awesome games tonight. We got a lot of new players in this first one, so I appreciate you you guys coming in and playing for us. Whether you're on the stream or not, doesn't matter. You can check out these games on YouTube. They'll all be available to be watched at a later time, as well as hopefully we'll get some highlight reels going on top of it. But anyway, rolling through the players and their champions. For Team Acorn, we've got Doomdozer on the Olaf in the jungle. Alkaline SN playing the Bard in the bottom lane support role. I'm Billy with the Lucian in the top lane. Tradox 1 taking the Zed in the mid lane. And Bloody Abortion, wow, all right, taking the Twitch in the bottom lane. AD carry role. Sometimes you read something before you think about it.
Yep. And then over on the intermediate bots, we've got Catnator playing Renekton in the top lane. Phantom of Temp going into the AD carry role. Looks like Boxy Box is going to be taking Yasuo into the mid lane. DRF Zeno on Karthus running the exhaust makes me think that is a Karthus support. And then we've got Malphite in the jungle played by Jeff Sow.
So, a lot of new people. I'm going to roll through them kind of quickly if I can. Alkaline SN, I'm Billy, Tradox 1, Bloody Abortion, Boxy Box, and Jeff Sow. Kind of like General Sow Chicken.
Yeah, General Sow.
I'm just going to stop talking about that because apparently my mouth isn't working.
So it's now the part where we talk about the secret strat that they're actually doing?
Yes, that's what I'm excited about, is Kalista, Phantom of Temp, playing in the mid lane. Unless things got traded around, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a, well, I don't know, with the Yasuo and Renekton, he might have been shoved into ADC role. He might have been shoved into ADC role.
Might have been shoved into ADC. If so, though, with Zeno in the bot lane, remember there is that. I don't know if they've since the patch hasn't gone through. I assume it hasn't been fixed yet. There's a bug with Kalista's ultimate where if it is mage that she is throwing in, the mage actually does not get thrown. The mage appears next to Kalista while getting the free knockup in the target location. So as a result, you could have an extra backline damage dealer and still take advantage of that knockup from the ultimate on Kalista.
And there's something even more spicy specifically with the Karthus, which is something that I discovered back when I was duoing a lot more with XLNC Wraith. If Kalista ults Karthus after he dies, you can throw his unkillable, hyper-damaging ghost into the enemy lines, and he gets another 4 seconds of untouchable damage. It's kind of a ridiculous, beautiful thing. He dies, you got about 2 to 3 seconds, Kalista pulls him back, spits him back out, he's got about another 4 seconds to damage anyone. We did it in a ARAM, and every time I would die in the middle of the lane, Kalista would grab me and throw me underneath the turret, and everyone scattered. It was pretty fantastic. We'll see if they can pull that off, if it is the duo in the bot lane. If not, the other secret strat that Phantom of Temp with this Kalista has, I've seen before, and he's playing a lot actually, sometimes even in solo queue, is going in the mid lane, playing a very strong AD range champion in the mid lane, paired with the jungler. So the jungle can stand behind the Kalista over to one side. Kalista grabs them and throws them straight into the enemy mid laner and just goes all in on it. It's great for engage. The jungler can also run in, start to engage, get underneath the turret, get the kill, and then Kalista pulls them out safely from underneath the turret. There's a lot of cool stuff. I don't know why I don't see Kalista more in games, because there's just so much awesomeness that could happen. But even still, we are going to get into our fancy loading screen, where we've got some great skins coming out. High Noon Yasuo, Karthus Lightbane, Mecha Malphite, Pool Party Renekton, Deathsworn Zed, Omega Squad Twitch, Butcher Olaf. That is a very rare skin. I don't see that hardly at all.
Which is weird, because it wasn't that much of a price. Actually, I think it's, I don't even think it's time restricted, is it?
No, I don't think it was restricted. I think most people just like other skins. Like I have the drumming Olaf skin.
Yeah, Pentakill.
Pentakill. I've actually got 2 or 3 Olaf skins, and so that's just not one that I picked up. It's kind of like I have the Cook Leona skin, but I just don't play it very often because there's other skins I like to play a little bit more. But if you had to pick a team to win, who would you pick? I think I can guess, but let me hear it.
I would pick the intermediate bots. I like the idea of the team fight that they got to put together. They also have a couple of presences that can get out of situations where those picks might become a problem. After Kalista gets Runaan's Hurricane, she throws 1 spear and immediately rends. She can slow her opponents that are chasing her in order to get away from those picks. So I'm looking for a intermediate bot victory here.
That is most likely. The one thing that I could see that would change that around is if we had the team Acorn go insanely aggressive. And by insanely aggressive, I mean 110% foot on the gas, never letting a single break happen. Because if they did that, the early game spiking advantage that the jungle Olaf brings, he can invade against whatever the jungle Malphite tries to bring. Malphite is a tank. He not only does very little damage, but as a jungler, he's going to do even less damage. He'll be able to tank up his farm fairly well, but he just won't be able to 1v1. Olaf 1v1, fine. Bring a Bard with you, you're going to get a kill again and again. You steamroll it in the jungle, you start to snowball, you take every scuttle on the map. If I was Acorn, I would be leaving lanes to help this Olaf become an absolute unkillable monster in the game. And are they doing this strat? Okay, hold on. And most of these guys don't even play with me. This is a strat that I do a lot, is you hide up here in the bush until about the 1 minute mark. Okay, they're moving a little bit early, and now they're going to go in. We'll see if they can make something happen. Oh, they're going all the way around. They haven't been seen at all.
They weren't seen.
This is kind of cool. I'm still waiting for Creator Suite to recognize. Oh, I need to probably reopen it. But the flash forward from the Olaf, he misses the undertow, but he will still be going in, slowing down Xeno, trying to land some of the scuttles, forcing the flash out of the car. This second undertow misses. Doom Dozer over here for Iron Billy, trying to get some damage onto the Malphite. I'm having to take manual control over the camera because the Creator Suite isn't working. But push out of lane, flash for flash. Not too much grab from Team Acorn. They might turn onto a blue buff, but Malphite's just going to walk them out, and everyone should escape. But at this point, it's even worse for Team Acorn because the Yasuo is now getting solo farm in the top lane.
Yeah, he's able to push in that wave and prevent Lucian from even picking it up. I do find it interesting they did take the Renekton into the mid lane instead of the Yasuo, sending Yasuo up into the top side. Good thing Catinator was there, though, as the Renekton coming in was the turning point of that little skirmish and prevented Acorn from really taking any advantages out of that.
See if I can pull up Creator Suite this time around and get that fancy zoom out that makes life a lot easier for Shoutcasters. But in the meantime, the Renekton in the mid lane, not something I'm totally thrilled with, especially against that range champion, range melee of the Zed. He's just going to be able to poke this Renekton down, throwing out the shurikens again and again. The one thing that he does have going for him is if he gets his ultimate around the same time as Zed, there's very little risk of him dying to Zed's ultimate, because every time that he goes in, Renekton can just use his own, gives him the health buff. He's going to be able to be a lot tankier. He should be able to survive it, unless he's just been harassed so low with Ignite that even that extra health boost doesn't save him, but that seems a little unlikely.
Something I wasn't thinking about during Champ Select that I'm noticing now is that, oh, we've got the all-in coming in from Tradox.
You don't even need your ultimate. It's a trade of kills! Very quickly in the mid lane. They hit that level 3, I believe it was, spiked it out, went in, ignite for ignite, super aggressive, trade of kills, but first blood does go to Zed, so he's going to have a slight advantage. Flash Force in the bottom lane from the Bard, who got really low. Phantom of Temp using some nice aggression in combination with those Skittles from Xeno.
Making sure that Skittles are doing a good job of just adding on that extra little bit of damage. DR of Xeno, fantastic at making sure that those little advantages that he get pulled out as Boxy Box gets taken down on the top side.
Yeah, hardly even time to cast it because Billy had this setup with the minions. The Yasuo trying to get a little bit too aggressive, trusting in his opportunity to dash back to safety. In the jungle, Jeff in a little bit of trouble. Both do have the double buffs. The Undertow's going to slow him down. Doom Dozer running in, using that speed boost from the
hello,
Predator boots. All right, he's gone. Catinator picks up one. Now he's got the red buff. Going to be slowing down Tradox, trying to heal the safety. Should be able to walk underneath his turret. Does have another potion sitting in his inventory, so could wait around and try to just heal up. But it's dangerous for Catinator, who goes back in. Now he's underneath the turret. Doesn't get any damage. Does take a tower shot on his way out, but that was close.
Very close. Honestly, kind of fortunate Catinator did not take a tower shot there, as he would have taken just a bit too much damage and may have risked going down here. One thing that I didn't note in Champion Select that I was going to reference when we got that fight up in top lane, all of the damage sources on Team Acorns are AD, and they're playing into a Malphite who has bonus scaling off of his armor, so that's going to be a very rough time as Catinator just gets deleted. Oh,
see, and that's part of the issue with Box. Yeah, so mid lane Catinator just got decimated. Zed found him, used the procs of his, I can't even click on it to see the actual name of it. Red runes. Doom Dozer fighting with Jeff in the jungle. Has to walk away as the red buff Malphite able to tank up some pretty good shots from the Olaf. Didn't have any buffs himself after losing them to the mid lane, so he's going to be walking away. And at this point, it's still fairly even, which is not good for Team Acorn because they needed to have the aggression in the early game that was going to allow them to just snowball before the members of intermediate bots can get tanky in the bottom lane. Bloody Abortion has been exhausted, forced to use the heal. They've gotten the trade of kills with the expunge. Zed down here as well. Phantom of Temp in trouble. Red buff more than enough to clean that one up. Phantom of Temp should fall. There he goes. Tradox picks up his third kill of the game. In the top lane, Billy gets a second solo kill on the Yasuo, who I've seen it now twice, throws down the wind wall and then dashes through it to just take straight up damage from the Lucian.
And I was just about to mention that, as well as the fact that he was running straight at the Lucian, who is a skill shot based champion. You can't be running straight at that Lucian as the Yasuo in this, as Jeff Sao is disconnected. Nope, reconnected. We're good.
He just had a momentary blink. He went AFK for half a second, but he's good.
Yeah, he's back. He's back. That's the important part.
That's the important part. Well, I can't find it right now.
Dragon biased.
It's still.
Right, now I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's a win Drake, which means neither team is really rushing for it. Olaf would like it, especially if he's running those Predator boots, going to speed himself up to get in deep with the enemy for fighting it out. But at the same time, it is just a win Drake, isn't it? Something really crazy and exciting like an Infernal, which means that both teams are kind of going to just sit around and wait for a better opportunity to pick it up. Rift Herald will be spawning in just another minute or so. What I'm really curious at this point is, can Zed continue to snowball this mid lane to other lanes? Can he get some roams down, push the lane in, and head to help out the Lucian, get even more fed in the top lane? In the bottom lane, Bloody Abortion getting some slows. And the double stun! Alkaline with a massive play! Phantom of Temp on the run. Will get some trade damage. The Magical Journey keeping Alkaline safe as he's able to get back underneath his turret. Bloody Abortion sneaking up behind Phantom of Temp. In trouble again. There is the stun with the minions! And wow, this Bard comes out huge in the top lane. Malphite shows up, doesn't have ult, though the wind wall will block a couple shots from I Am Billy. But he's trying to get the trade of kills onto Box before going down. The light will not be able to pierce him, so he will stay alive for the moment in the mid lane. Trade Tradox goes down to the ulting Renekton into the top lane. It's back to the adventure up here. Billy picks up one with the help of Doomdozer, takes out both. 10-3. Acorn has put the pressure on, and they are starting to roll.
And it's not even Acorns really putting the pressure on themselves. It's a lot of the time, it's intermediate bots going in for something they really shouldn't. We've seen BoxyBox go in for multiple fights against Billy on this Lucian, and Billy has just outscaled him at this point. He's gotten to the kills, he's gotten the farm, and as a result, he's
flash for flash.
3-0-1.
Yep, and that's interesting stopwatch from the Olaf. He had picked that up a little bit earlier. Not something you normally see on an AD melee champion, but does save his life as Catnair was trying to get in underneath the turret. Decides, all right, time to back out with the slice and dice and recall. But still, 10-3, 3,000 gold in the lead. And like you said, making use of intermediate bots over aggression, especially when Team Acorn, they're the ones that have the early advantage. Intermediate bots have the scaling. They've got the Kalista, they've got the Yasuo, they've got a late game unkillable Renekton who's just going to be an absolute terror and monster. Unkillable Malphite, they'll be tanking everything you throw at him. But early game, they don't have that damage and advantage.
And I think they might be relying too much on the fact that they're thinking, okay, we've got this, and this working in our advantage, but it's not working in your advantage yet. You're not to the point where you can actually take advantage of that.
Malphite sneaks away with a nice smite.
To get the smite.
Yep, grabbing that blue buff, keeping it for himself. Bloody Abortion starts the ultimate, spray and pray, getting Phantom Temp extremely low, throws the Karthus in, but that's way too late. However, Malphite comes in, double massive knockup, taking out the Twitch immediately. Bard ults to nowhere for no reason because it's awesome. Magical Journeys into the waiting arms of Catnator on the Renekton, cleans up 2 in the bottom lane. There was a trade of kills and Phantom Temp at the beginning of that, but a nice return play from the mid laner and jungler of intermediate bots.
They made sure to apply a little bit of extra pressure there, and I don't like the call to go back towards the mid lane from them. I would much rather have seen them stay in the bottom lane and put some pressure on that tower. I understand that Catnator's concerned with this tower going down to Tradox here, but you have to be aware of the tower that could fall in the bottom side.
And I like the move there from the Olaf. No worries on the aggression. Just go straight in onto Malphite when he shows up. All of these skills and abilities can be used in the bottom lane, so most of them, especially most crucially the ultimates, were on cooldown. So there was no worries about an engage from the Renekton or Malphite. May as well just get some free damage down and walk away safely. So that's really good. Pay attention to where those skills were used. 11 kills to 5. Acorn strong. But again, as we've said, they need to keep this aggression up. I love Lucian pushing this top lane. Not only has those minions sitting on the turret, but picking up farm behind the turret as well. Just trying to scale his lead, which is 50 farm over this Yasuo. What?
Yeah. That's what happens when you die 3 times.
BoxyBox, are you playing this game? I'm not even sure. No salt, but seriously. Bloody Abortion going in once again, using the spray and pray, getting Phantom Temp low, wants to use... Oh my goodness!
The flash gets him just out of tower range.
The help of that heal as well, make sure that he stays alive. But a nice move from Phantom of Temp, almost getting the kill from Twitch, just sitting underneath the turret. Though it might have been an execute if Phantom of Temp hadn't touched him in the last couple of seconds. Still though, the spray pray from Twitch is big. He's gonna come in here once again, sneaky. One more shot, doesn't even need it, gets the expunge to finish it off. Xeno trying to get some damage in, throwing down the Skittles. He's in trouble. Can Alkaline get the stun though, connecting with the wall. Only has those slows, forces the flash out. And so far this bottom lane from intermediate bots is just not going so well.
No, it was a good strategy. It was a good idea, but honestly, the execution on it has been quite poor at best. Realistically, it's, once again, we've been talking about it this whole time. The Team Acorn is taking great advantage of the over-aggression.
All right, here comes the Ragnarocking Olaf smashing through. Jeff Sao may be falling. That's a nice Kung Pao chicken, but he walks to safety as Olaf falls. Renekton and Yasuo spiking him down. I'm Billy trying to run away, almost ulted by the Bard, but too slow, too much. An Alkaline now on the run, trying to heal Magical Journey, but Catnator quick to follow as well. Stunned up, but may just go right in. Bloody Abortion around the corner with this Twitch, but he is against 3. Yasuo heads back to the top lane, so now it's only against the Phantom of Temp. There comes extra shots in the expunge. This Kalista cannot stay alive as he goes in, just cleaning up those minions in the mid lane.
They almost need to buy some more armor on the ADC right now. 0, 5, and 2 for Phantom of Temp on this Callista. And that's not something we're used to seeing as we see Tradox going in on Boxy Box.
Oh, I love the wind wall against a melee champion who's already gone all in on you. Wind wall's behind the Zed and who pieces out afterwards back to his own Shadow clone with the pop of the ultimate, finishing off Boxy Box once again in the top lane. If you've got a sore spot, just keep pushing it on the enemy team. And right now that is Yasuo, who just is having one of the worst games of the day. In the meantime, Catinator comes in, getting the stun onto Tradox, forcing his flash. He should be able to escape, making nice use of that, he's in the top lane, Yumi's Ghostblade to escape.
Yeah, a little bit of extra speed on top of the fact that he did have that, did have a Shadow Clone ready to go, so he could hop over the wall. Made it really easy for him to just move out. As Billy is pushing down this mid lane turret.
Yeah, he's gonna get slowed down, but just goes straight in onto Xeno. Misses one last auto attack, would have been able to finish off the Karthus, but with that dash of the Relentless Pursuit, puts him out of range. Does save him though from Catinator, came in from the side. Doomdozer here as well to support mid lane turret, already down to a third health with this push, especially the members of intermediate bots having to back out. They should be able to take it, but need to play safe because Malphite's around the corner.
Malphite really coming in wouldn't really be able to do too much. Just like you said, if Acorns can put their foot on the gas and keep it there, they've got a good shot at winning this game. And right now they're pushing every advantage that they've got, which is a lot of them because they haven't taken their foot off that gas as of yet.
I'd love to see them, as Renekton gets chunked out pretty low, go and get this Wind Drake that we talked about earlier. Part of it is because that speed boost would allow you to switch between the lanes even faster. Want to catch up to an enemy opponent? Feel free. Want to rotate lanes faster than your enemy can follow? Feel free. Want to get to a fight in which you have fewer members than the enemy and you want to show up and help out? Feel free. As the Ragnarok bursted out by the Olaf, just to avoid that tornado from Boxy Box. Putting insult to injury. 5 members here from Meteor Bots trying to tank up and hold on the second tier turret from the 5 members of Team Acorn. We'll see if they can manage it, as it looks like Lucian wants to recall.
If you're Acorns right now, or if you're intermediate bots and Acorns, they both have to be play very careful. Acorns need to be on the lookout for Malphite's ultimate, which is up. I don't know that they have a timer on when that was last used, or if they were thinking about it. But that is something they need to be aware of as they're grouping up here.
So 14 kills to 17, only 4,000 gold in the lead though. Haven't been able to extend the gold lead much, but most of that is because they just haven't been able to take down too many more of these structures. Bloody Abortion in trouble though, starts the spray and pray really early. That's going to be a nice Malphite straight into the last breath from Yasuo, saving his teammates for the moment. 1 for 1, but Karthus going to help finish off the Bard, and that's going to be taking a 2 for 1 good trade there from intermediate bots, as I Am Billy only gets a couple shots of the culling, needs a lot more to take out Catinator. Karthus tries to steal it away, doesn't quite find Doomdozer as well though. He is currently 1 and 2 with just a tier, so he's got no damage to speak of. That being said, though, a 3 for 1. Nice trade for intermediate bots.
Fantastic job by them to make sure that they get the fight in there, as it looked bad from the start there. Looking at the start of that fight, we've got all 3 of the carries falling back as Bloody Abortion comes in on that Twitch. So you've got 3 squishies here as Twitch opens up the spray and pray. He barely gets tagged by the tornado, and that's what causes the massive fight to break out in the favor of the intermediate bots, as Yasuo was able to get in there with his last breath as that fight is going down on the top side, where Billy whiffs most of the culling there. And as you said, the ultimate there, I don't know if that was necessarily the kill. I think he was trying to finish off Doomdozer here, who did end up pretty low, but overall a fantastic fight out of the intermediate bots to kind of put this game a little bit more in their favor.
Exactly. In the bottom lane, half health on this turret, trying to defend. And at this point, Phantom of Temp's wave clear should be good enough to be able to finish it off. Early just to keep the tower up. Xeno being able to help out a little bit with that, though he's stealing a handful of farm as well. Alkaline SN on some of these Bard Qs has just been really, really on point. 2 big plays in the bottom lane. Love to highlight later, being able to pull off some amazing combinations with that Twitch. And Billy just 1 by 1. Pew, pew. Here comes Renekton. That's starting it off with Jeff around the corner. No mana to speak of, but doesn't need it. The flash from I'm Billy forced out. He's on the run. Already used Relentless Pursuit. There he does using it again. It's got a short cooldown Culling just to drop Catinator's health down a little bit. And I think, oh, he pauses to hit the scrying plant?
Yep, he paused at the Scryer's Bloom. I'm not entirely certain why.
That's a serious thinking emoji right there. Bottom lane turret still alive. They say if you want to hide under the turret, that's fine. We'll go behind it, forcing out the ultimate from Kalista, saving Karthus for the moment. But Olaf here as well, 3 members strong. Probably just going to dive it as the rest of the members of Enemy Bots are actually coming down here to hang out. Bard using ultimate to hold down the turret damage for the moment. The Ragnarok from Olaf coming in as well. Tradox here finishes off the Karthus, wants to get onto Kalista as well. Phantom of Temp will be dropped, but the Malphite comes in huge. Last Breath catches one as well, so that's 2 quick kills back over to Intermediate Bots. The Olaf running the opposite direction, trying to save his one last teammate of the Zed. Will be able to save the Zed for now as he's trying to recall. There he goes, but the bottom lane turret under siege and should be a quick pickup by Intermediate Bots. This wombo combo of the Malphite and Yasuo is just so darn strong.
And that was a fantastic job by Zeno delaying the fight and making sure that he could at least pull them a little bit further in towards the river as his teammates were coming down. Overall, it ends up being a 2-for-3 on the trade here.
Keep in mind, though, that it was a 4,000 gold lead by Team Acorn that's now been dropped down to a 3,000 gold lead. Plus, the Wind Drag being picked up by Intermediate Bots can do what we talked about earlier, find those rotations, be able to get into a fight faster, bring more members to the fight. They should be able to pick this up uncontested unless Zed can try to steal it away. Bard's around the corner, but Yasuo going to finish it off as the Olaf going to find a lot of pain. Doom Dozer cleared up. Catinator stealing it away, going godlike 9-2-2. Like Reeve says in the chat, Catinator versus the world, putting the entire team on his back and making those plays. Dashing in, finds the stun onto Twitch. Good damage as well. Tradox is here, trying to burst him down the spray and pray from the Twitch, slowing everybody on their way out the wind wall. Stops that, though. He's going to get chunked out, but some of those Skittles from Karthus won't be able to finish him off, though, so both teams slightly disengaged. We'll see if they decide to go back in after some of their health regens from the pots they've got sitting in their inventories.
Well, as we talked about, the scaling is now in effect. We see Intermediate Bots starting to come back as Bloody Abortion manages to delete Zeno, and Phantom Attempt gets caught.
Oh, no, too early on the Q. Alkaline SN just mistimes it. Phantom Attempt hopping to safety will be able to survive. A good attempted play. There's another nice binding. Does find the stun for the Malphite, though, but the fight was already disengaged. It's still advantage to Team Acorn, but this Catinator is starting to scale impressively, and that's where things start to get nervous. We're past the 20-minute mark, so if the combo of the Malphite Yasuo plus this really beefy Renekton, though he's going to lose a lot of health to the culling, tries to get in, finishes off 1v1, taking out the Lucian. While I'm blabbering about the rest of his teammates, we should just talk about Catinator for the rest of the game, because he's the one that it is all centered around.
And a fantastic job by Catinator there, making sure he got into the bush to break line of sight. Billy just got a little bit too cocky there, moving up just a little too far, and Catinator able to jump in, get the stun down, and land the rest of his combo in order to lay just a ton of damage on and finish off that Lucian. I do want to note, we were talking about the armor scaling of the Malphite. Malphite is not building armor right now. Malphite has built a Malphite has built a Haunting Guise and a Medjai Soul Stealer, and just lost 10 stacks on the ladder with that death.
Ouch. So AP Malphite, that may be part of the reason why Intermediate Bots is having a problem. Oh! Like a true Intermediate Bot. He's building AP. That makes a lot more sense. As Catinator getting the nice stun down onto Lucian, cleans him up again, going legendary. 11-2 in the bottom lane. Zeno getting some good damage down, forcing the flash out from Alkaline SN. Phantom of Temp down to less than 100 health. The Olaf is seen, though. He's sitting on a ward. Ragnaroking through. Who cares about the exhaust? Who cares about the turret damage? I'm going to dive. Tries to finish it off with a Q. Won't be able to, though. Sorry, that was his E. In the top lane, Twitch wanted to die. He's just tired of living. Expunge gets Catinator low.
Actually,
Ooh! Almost a trade of kills.
Yeah, he ends up doing pretty well in that fight, making sure to stack up the poison, and it pops, like you said, pops with the expunge to bring Catinator low, and then that was a point where they had a ward in that bush, and so it made it a lot easier for Twitch to go in, unlike when Lucian came in on the top lane bush without any vision.
Sorry, I'm talking with the chat about how Lemur is way better than multiple masters in the game. So it tells you, you know, really where my allegiances align, because Lemur is really, really good. The fact that Lemur plays on the stream is just impressive alone, because he's really, really good and a ton of fun to watch.
Absolutely. Lemur is a fantastic player. I love seeing him in. As we got a little bit of a lull in the game going on right now.
Yep, Billy going in, nice culling onto Xeno, forcing the flash out. Phantom of Temp here, though, tossing a couple spears, but going to be taken out. The stun finds himself onto the Lucian. No Kalista to rend those spears out. The Karthus, it should be able to finish him off despite the relentless pursuit. You can't escape a Karthus when he is singing your doom. Olaf going to fall as well, and this is the late game scaling of intermediate bots. AP Malphite wants to finish off the Twitch, does knock him extremely low. The burn ticking away, should be able to survive though, and gets out. But still, that is another fight won by intermediate bots. I think it was a 2-for-1 trade in total.
Yep. Yeah, they're using the scaling to their advantage. I know I keep harping on it. I would rather see the Malphite building armor right now to prevent himself from dying, as well as scale a couple of his abilities using that armor. But the AP Malphite is putting in a good little bit of work, so I will allow it for now.
But this is where we talk about the late game scaling. The gold lead is dwindling, right? It started off at nearly 2K right off the bat. I think it was a 6-to-1 kill lead in the advantage of Team Acorn. Grew to 4,000 gold lead, and now has been slowly dwindling down to just over 2,000 gold lead, and that continues to get smaller. One more team fight, intermediate bots could easily rush to Baron. Kalista, one of the best champions at taking out that Baron, and when you only have the Olaf being the one on the enemy team that can try to steal it away, if you take him out, that should be a free Baron for you to be able to pick up.
Yeah, they don't have any way to really go into it because they don't have a combination that they can play, as Tradox just absolutely obliterates.
Yeah, that's Assassin Zed. Yep, he's gone. Was there,
yep,
and then disappeared. Phantom of Temp, kind of doing a similar, yeah, he wants to cosplay the Karthus, and will go down. Catinator trades in a 2v1. 1 kill for 1, finishes off the squishier member of the Twitch. But Team Acorn finds those solo kills. That's where Acorn has their advantages, is in extending this laning phase, getting the 1v1s, the Assassin Zed, Malphite, AP combos once again with the Yasuo to finish off the Zed, and that's where the grouping power of intermediate bots, they should just shove down a lane. Take it 5v5, yep, they'll win the fight with these ultimates, and they can go and get a Baron afterwards and make their game so much easier. But in the meantime, they've lost 2 turrets, giving a lot more gold right back to Team Acorn.
2 turrets, 2 fights, 3 fights really, and just made a bad time of it there, trying to come back into this game.
I'm Billy, trying to use another pursuit, almost takes out Xeno, will fall in a 1v, almost 3. Boxy Box showing up there as well. The Windrake finally picked up by Team Acorn as the second Windrake of the game, tying it up between these two teams. The most boring of the 2 Drakes, as we will, what is this? Get a third Windrake, ladies and gentlemen. We're so excited. The Drakes are wonderful.
Hey, slow tactical. I talked about it last week, that slow tactical League of Legends, while not always being the most fun thing to watch, is just an absolute masterpiece. And it looks like the game is trying to tell these 2 teams to take it slow and make sure that you are making your rotations correctly.
Take it slow? When you got Windrakes, it's take it fast. That means you got the speed in your sails. It's time to go full on into the enemy team. Rush it in. I don't know why Yasuo doesn't get a secret passive boost from clicking up Windrakes. I mean, his whole entire kit is all about wind. He should just, for every win Drake, he should get twice as much wind or something ridiculous. No,
so
not that
Nami
much.
should get extra from Ocean Drakes.
When
Brand
she's
should get
running,
extra from
a Phantom
Infernals.
Attempt trying to ult the Karthus into the enemy team. Goes in, Doomdozer here, forced to run away. I'm Billy very low, trying to poke down. Xeno should fall. The Sprayer Prey from Twitch is good. The nice stun from Catinator keeps him there for a moment. The Karthus ult coming down. Renekton's still alive. Double kill for the Karthus. He fell, but now the Zed finds the back line. The Bard ult as well. Tries to save his teammate. Won't happen. And by teammate, I mean the enemy teammate.
And meanwhile, AP Malphite just split push bot lane.
Wait. So,
AP Malphite got the inner turret on bot side with that, and it's going to take a second for the minions to reach in mid lane too, so he's actually not going to lose a tower out of this.
the Yasuo should have stepped into that. I understand that it was a enemy Bard ultimate, but would have saved him. AP Malphite smashes through with the smite, takes out the Zed, unstoppable, Ragnaroking Olaf comes slamming through, but he's underneath a turret and an AP late game scaling. Jeff Sao Malphite picks up a solo double kill underneath the turret, the extra little laughter at the end as well. I love it. Oh my goodness. Olaf is dead. This should be a free Baron if Intermediate Bots wants to get it. But what am I saying? They're bots. All they do is push lanes and fight.
That's true.
Me.
Bots do not recognize neutral. What is this? The
Wait.
bots.
Oh,
they've gone off script.
They're intermediate bots. Beginner bots are I misspoke. Beginner bots just push lanes. Intermediate bots can sometimes do some other things. Thank you, Sajaces, for the 5 bits. I appreciate that. Is that for the Malphite? The Poggers for the AP Malphite. He's gotten 5 kills. I'd like that. I'm Billy on the run, trying to escape. A couple extra shots, but the Tornado's going to find him. Don't need no Malphite this time around. Yasuo picks it up. They've got the late game scaling. They're picking up the Baron. At this point in the game, despite being still 2,000 gold behind, I would give it over to intermediate bots, even though the beginning of the game looked so good. Bloody Abortion using the heal, trying to escape. Bardalt comes in. Bardalt misses. Alkaline finishing off nobody. Tries to get in. Will be stunned up. The Zed is here as well. Popped. All the deaths for the members of Team Acorn as intermediate bot smashes through the top lane as well. The Yasuo clearing up that turret, and they have full control of the game and should, with this Baron buff, be able to at least take one inhibitor.
That is a very firm tempo swing in the favor of the intermediate bots. They're going to be pushing down, taking out this top lane inner turret, and that's going to give them a 5 tower to 5 tower tie now. So that ties up the turrets. The kills are tied up as well, but as you can see, a little over 2,000 gold lead in the favor of the intermediate bots here.
I love the aggression of Catinator going straight in, walking right back out. I don't even care. I am a 12-5 crocodile. I will chew your face off. Picks up a Thornmail in addition to everything else he has just to deal with the damage from the Lucian a little bit easier. Olaf is not so happy about this. 4-7, has the Righteous Glory for speed boost in. Maybe they can catch the Phantom of Temp out.
Bye, Phantom.
That was a lot of damage. That had to be a reckless swing from Olaf. I can't think of anything else besides a crit from Twitch that would have done that much damage in one hit.
Well, and here's the thing about that. Phantom of Temp really shouldn't be up that far when he doesn't have vision of the enemy squad. They were all hiding in their face.
AP Malphite, baby! This is now meta. I love it. This is where Daisy MVP came from. When Daisy was winning a game single-handedly because Ivern couldn't do anything, but Daisy was stealing all the kills. Now we have Jeff Sao on AP Malphite, who started the game off terribly and just couldn't do a thing, and is now stealing all your kids, all your wife, taking everything away, including the middle inhibitor. 32 kills to 32 as well. All your base belong to AP Malphite. Bloody Abortion as well. Yes, we're ignoring the fact that Catinator did all the work of the game, and we'll do some more work as well, executing on Billy over the wall. Twitch does find the kill on the Karthus. Nice little bit of, I don't even think it was Sprayer Prey. He just kind of shot the Karthus out because he's so darn squishy. The members of Team Acorn trying to defend this bottom lane turret. Jeff Sao on the back line. He's got the ultimate available. Who's he going to go into? No one? All right. I was excited for a minute.
There's no prime targets yet.
Maybe the prime targets are here, though. He just walks right in. Ults in the face of everybody. Bard ult saves too. Redemption comes down, dealing a little extra damage to the AP Malphite, but Renekton wants back in, finding the stun onto the Twitch. They took out the AP Malphite. The Twitch has come online. Triple kill for Bloody Abortion, and maybe Team Acorn on this sewer rat have a saving grace to be able to get their way back into this game.
15, 6, and 6 for Bloody Abortion on that Twitch, doing a fantastic job of at least keeping his team in this game. And like you said, the Twitch is coming online now. You've got an online Twitch, so now they do have a team fight presence that can put out consistent damage on top of the Zed assassination and the potential for Lucian to come in and pop off. Lucian does have that Blade of the Ruin King, so along with the Spellslinger, he's going to be doing 16% of current health as physical damage in order to make sure that, well, technically it's 8 and then 8, so it's technically like 14.5%, something like that. But 16% of their total current health every time he goes in with one of those spells. It's going to be interesting to see if they can pull this off, because I do still give, because of the massive wombo combo they've got, I still do give the advantage to the intermediate bots, but I would love to see Acorns try to go for an extended fight, maybe get away from some of those key ultimates, maybe force them to be used in a skirmish on the side or something. If they can get away from the skirmish, that might be something they can take advantage of.
And that's the thing, is it's the extended fights that you want to see. The Assassin's Edge should be able to finish off Phantom Attempt, uses the ult immediately at the very beginning of it, will miss a Shuriken, and Rend actually did a surprising amount of damage. The Callista still falls, though. And that's where a Team Acorn need to use that type of stuff to their advantage. Make it a 4v5. They're going to find Boxy Box. He's going to fall. Catonator as well. 1v3 with the Karthus ult will help him out, though. Finds Doom Dozer, gets the stun down as well. A couple more slices should be able to finish him off. I'm Billy next up on the menu. Exhaust comes down with the help from Xeno. The Bard ult way too late. And these three here just destroying everything Team Acorn throws at them. Xeno through the base. Here comes the Zed, finishes off the Karthus. We've seen that before. It's a little bit of deja vu, but trying to finish off Catonator. He gets it with the ultimate as well. What? No, that was the Keystone Burst at the very end. He hit him with the Shuriken, and it finished off of Catonator. So that's a 4 for 4. Malphite's solo pushing at the moment. AP Malphite!
He's got the health. He's got the health. He might as well do something with it. As Tradox is back up with 75% health, so he can come up and do something. But the super minion got one hit on him and took about 5% of his health there, so that was a little painful.
Little bit painful. Baron spawning in at minute 20. The next Drake, guys. We got the most exciting Drake game here. It's the best Drake game you've ever seen. Triple win Drakes into an Elder Drake. That's it. We're going to get the Elder Drake for the extra speed boost to be even speedier and boostier than normal. If a team decides to focus on that. Jeff Sau freely pushing in the bottom lane. 8, 3, and 13. Finally picks up a little bit of a defensive item with the Mormogs, which is really good for the Malphite, especially when it comes to what you were talking about earlier of these extended trades. Intermediate Bots has the tanky team. If they go in, they get one kill, back out, heal up, and then come back in, should be better. What are you laughing about?
He got Luden's Echo.
Yes, he got Luden's Echo.
He's had that Warmogs for a while now, but he just picked up Luden's Echo and is sitting on another needlessly large rod that, if I had to guess, is probably going to become a Rabadon's death cap.
Does anyone on the stream use art? Because I need somebody to draw this huge rock monster of Malphite with a Lyssandra's mask on his face holding a needlessly large rod, just being like, I'm a mage! Because that's what Malphite is cosplaying as right now. Gets the slow onto I Am Billy, paired up with the Yasuo again. I'm surprised their damage didn't actually completely kill Lucian right off the bat, but still falls down. Alkaline trying to find a stun.
Lucian does have a black cleaver, so he does have a little bit of extra health coming in on that.
Yeah, so the question is, do they go for the Baron? It is a 4v5. Lucian is down, but the Olaf with that Ragnarok is up, and he could try to run in, smite, steal away the Baron. They're using those undertows just to check the bushes. AP Malphite, Jeff Sau. Oh my gosh, this guy's becoming a meme in my heart. As Baron falls, intermediate bots cleanly pick it up. No contest from Team Acorn. Can't get past the painful rock monster and all back up to the base. Huge mini wave pushing in the bottom lane. No teleports available for intermediate bots. They'll have to walk down there if they want to push it in, but they may just use it as a distraction and push top instead.
Yeah, top lane towers and inhibitor probably going to go here, as well as mid lane inhibitor is going to be under fire as soon as Jeff Sao and Phantom of Temp reach it.
I'm Billy.
This is going to have to be the fight here.
Yep. Yasuo's taken low. He does have the Guardian's Angel, though, so even if he dies, it's not the end of the world. Catinator wants the last bit of the inhibitor. We'll pick it off. That's 2 inhibitors down. Team Acorn stuck in their base now, trying to defend. All members are up and available here. There's the ultimate from the Callista. Karthus decides, no, I don't want to go in. Still dies anyway. And Billy is like, oh, all right, well, I guess I'll kill you. Why not? Twitch from the back line, spray and pray. Picks up 1. Zed off to this side, forcing the Guardian's Angel out. AP Malphite picks 4, but the Yasuo was down that entire time. And Acorn find a massive win.
They did lose 2 inhibitors there, but oh my gosh. Intermediate bots barely overstayed their welcome there and paid for it with not 1, not 2, but 4 deaths in total. They do still have a 4,000 gold lead, but sitting at this particular point in the game, that doesn't matter as much as execution, because most everybody is sitting on top of 5.5 or 6 items in some cases. So it all comes down to how you execute, and Acorns did a fantastic job pulling out that fight to make sure that they could extend this game, give themselves an opportunity to clear out some waves and possibly apply some pressure here to this mid lane turret.
Yeah, nice move from Catinator, slicing his way over the wall to get back underneath this turret to defend against 3. Is he going to find a stun onto the Zed? Will be able to do that. Shielded up as well. Karthus here to defend. Ragnarocking. Olaf will fall down. Doom Dozer cleaned up as well. The spray and pray from Twitch doing really good damage. Catinator finds the stun, though. The exhaust is down as well. That's a triple kill for intermediate bots, and they should be able to pick up the Elder now, which is that extra buff. One of the concerns with the last fight was that they had the Baron buff. Not only did they get 1 solid push off and take an inhibitor, if they had all backed safely, they could have pushed bottom lane as well before Baron disappeared. When they lost 4, that was it. Great thing, Renekton still has it. They could pick up the Elder and 5-man rush bottom lane turret and be able to just take out that inhibitor as well.
Yeah, Catinator's still sitting on about 45 seconds worth of that Baron, so if they can get over there and drop it.
Ooh, magical journey. Nice stun. Good timing that time from Alkaline SN. And that's going to keep Catinator from taking this little magical man's life in his own hands. Red buff picked up with Catinator as well. He is a very buffed up crocodile. That guy's on steroids or something, guys, because 19, 7, and 12. He has been a true monster this whole game. And true to form, pushing the bottom lane. They want this last inhibitor, take out all the structures to Team Acorn, give them no opportunity to get back into the game. Oh, nice ultimate for Phantom of Temp. Steals it away from the Zed. And that is Karthus still alive. Double stun, boxy box very low. Forced to flash to this side. Windwall's already down. Trying to escape, but executed as well. Malphite finds no one. Is this the turnaround fight? Karthus ult going to be stopped by the Bard ult, who holds up too. But that's straight into the awaiting arms of Renekton, who just was waiting for the cooldowns. Doom Dozer on the run, trying to get what damage he can, but will still fall. The double dabbing penguins of intermediate bots push it down. The ace from the Renekton as well. He just wants to clear out the minions, push in the base. Not even sure where Malphite's going. He's just drilling underneath Summoner's Rift. He says, that's it. I'm out. Game over. I'm gone.
Later.
And yes, League Nerd XZY, thank you not only for playing the Bard, which was awesome. Oh my gosh, this is because of the beginning of the game. But this is only game number 1. Only game 1 of 3 that we do every Tuesday night. And you're more than welcome to come back and play in even more games. It has been an awesome time. This game is wonderful, but the slow, sure, I'm actually just gonna, because the camera keeps wanting to jump me to Malphite for some random reason. He's not even hitting anything. There it is, Super Minions finishing it off. Game 1 to intermediate bots after an exciting 47 kills to 48 kills in 41-minute game. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was a absolute bloodbath of a game. Fantastic job on the initial. I mean, we talked about it. We talked about how the best chance for Acorns was to take an early advantage and keep pushing it down Intermediate Bot's throat. They did just that, but unfortunately, Intermediate Bots did come online, and as a result, they were able to turn it around, keep forcing back. Acorn still found a couple of fights and had a couple of opportunities to take some advantages in this game, but Intermediate Bots did a great job closing it out, making sure that everything stayed good.
All the tears from the Zed. He's crying his way back home. 17 kills, but couldn't be enough. Phantom Attempt, even though he won the game, said, now you know why I don't play ADC Kalista. Instead, play mid lane Kalista. I don't even know what to say about that. But let's roll through MVPs and honorable mentions quickly as we can. Hey, thank you for the cheer. Somebody was cheering. I'm not sure whether or not that just wasn't working in the game. If you tried to click that during the game, let me know, so that I can fix that, because it seems that some of you guys followed as well. 3 Mars and League Nerds XYZ, thank you for the follows. I appreciate that. I was not getting the notifications in game. So if you tried to do it and it didn't work, let me know. I'll try to fix that. Let's roll through MVPs and honorable mentions for the losing team. Go ahead.
All right, MVP, I'll start with MVP honorable mention for the Team Acorns. We are going to go honorable mention over to the Bloody Abortion on the Twitch. Did a good job of making sure that the consistent damage output was there. It was available for his team, and he actually managed to secure a very solid lead in the bottom lane, which we were talking about possibly being a swinging point early on. And he swung it in his team's favor, made sure, like we talked about multiple times, pushing those advantages. And unfortunately, it turned. It turned when the enemy team was able to, when the Intermediate Bots were able to start bringing extra people down there to turn those fights in Phantom Attempt's favor. But a fantastic job from the Twitch. MVP is going to go over to Tradox. Excellently played Zed. Made sure that every time he went in, he had an opportunity and executed on executing his target. He kept going in. He made sure that almost every fight where I saw him go in, Boxy, Boxer, Phantom of Temp, or Xeno, one of those 3 went down. Unfortunately for him, it was the members of Catnator and Jeff Sal that he really needed to be completely aware of and take out, but they weren't squishy. They weren't hit the targets that the Zed could handle. He did a good job of doing what he could every fight, and then continuing to poke down those targets that had more health and more resistances that he couldn't quite assassinate as a result. And that is the losing side MVP and honorable mention.
For the winning team, Intermediate Bots. Just really quick, I want to explain to you guys that are sitting in the chat, especially to League Nerds, which, again, thank you for coming out. The reason why we do MVPs and honorable mentions is to talk about the reasons why certain players are doing better than others, what they did well. It's a little bit of a learning opportunity, as well as just kind of honors the people that did crazy, crazy good, such as a huge shout out to you playing the Bard early game, getting those double stuns. Talk about highlight reel material. That was freaking awesome. But for the winning team, can you even question the Catinator getting MVP?